all of this to say, sometimes you have plans for your children, but guess what? They have their own plans too. Yes, hey loves, welcome to, I don't know if this is going to be a La La Land series or a new series. Anyway, I'm just going to speak off the cuff about things that have been on my mind, and it's just the end of day now. I've been working all day. Yes, I've been working like this all day. I haven't had to turn on my camera, but like during my breaks and stuff, I've been trying to get in my steps. If you don't know, I'm quite conscious about trying to get in as many steps as I can, given that my role involves just sitting down at my desk all day, and I don't want to turn into a potato, even though some people might argue that I'm already a potato. Anyway, some of the conversations that have been transpiring lately, like in real life, and maybe the algorithm is listening to the conversations that I'm having in real life, but this whole idea of like cultural capital and providing experiences and opportunities for our children so that when they are in certain spaces they don't feel like outsiders, and especially when you come from marginalized communities within the UK. So I love these conversations where people talk about like taking their children abroad. Ooh, what's going on? Have we already started with the traffic? People talk about taking their kids abroad and giving them, you know, cultural experiences. Due to my own interest that I had developed, when I had children, I would just take them to do things that I want to do, right? So some of you may or may not know that I have been vlogging my life or my experience as a mother for years and years. I used to make a weekly vlog, like my vlogs used to come out every single week, consistently every week, right? And it was just me documenting my day-to-day life as a mother and with my small children. And you'd see me go to, like, it was just very random. We'd go to galleries, we'd go to museums, it'd be days out. So one of the cultural experiences that I enjoy engaging in with my children is travel. From really early on, they knew how to behave when they were outside. Then I would travel with them, which I know is like a lot of parents, in particular mothers, don't like doing, and I get it, because traveling with children isn't necessarily a holiday, it's just a change. Oops, sorry, I'm putting my hand out like that because I thought you were going to fall on me, because it's like a change of environment. Well, because I've done it so often and so frequently, and I enjoy seeing the world through their eyes, like me experiencing something for the first time, them experiencing something for their first time, creating those memories. And we're doing it a little bit more often now than we did then, because when they were younger, I had the commitment of looking after my elderly grandfather. Like my finances are they're in a better place now than they were before. So it's given a little bit more leeway to try and do the things that I really enjoy doing. I would hope it would be developing their taste and their palate and their life experiences, so that when they get to a certain age, it's not like, yes, there might be things that are new to them, things that I can provide that are within my means. Why should that be new to them when they're an adult? So I hear some people talking about how intentional they're going to be, and they're going to do A, B, C, D. And like, for example, the whole grammar school thing, right? A lot of people in my community, you either want to send, like, if they can afford to, or they plan, some people plan this before even having their first child. They start, what? How do you mean the road is closed? Okay, I need to use my sat nav because I don't know where I'm going. For some reason the magnet isn't working very well. Okay, so I'm back on track. There was a road closure and I had to do a diversion. Anyway, so I say all of that to say, the parents that are, you know, saving all their money before the child is born so that they can put the child into private school, or the parents that are working so hard, working 2-3 jobs to put their child through private school, or the parents that think, okay, they can't afford private school, they're gonna figure out the whole grammar school thing, and then to pay for tuition so that their children can pass the 11 plus test. Now, if you are not from the UK and you're wondering what is this, so we have state schools. We have, like, I guess 3 different types of schools. So we have state schools, which are government funded. We have private schools, which are also called public schools, which are privately funded. You pay tuition fees to send your child to those sort of schools. And then you have grammar schools, which are selected. There's a term that the children are selected based on their academic ability, so they will have to do a test to get in, and these tests are 11 plus. They could be 13 plus. I think is there a 7 plus, but generally speaking, most people aim for the 11 plus, because that's from when you're going from primary school to secondary school, high school, right? But what happens where you do everything you can, you do the best you can with what you have, and you don't necessarily have the finances and the resources, but things do not pan out? What happens? We did the best we could with what we had. We knew from the jump that we weren't going to put ourselves through turmoil and work 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 jobs to send our 3 children to private schools. We did the whole 11 plus. So certain things happened whereby we weren't in the catchment area, or some of the tests that our child or children didn't pass. What happens then? Like, there's this idea that, you know, you hope that you put everything you can into your child and your child passes the test. But if they don't pass the test to get into these selected schools, are they a failure? Of course they're not. Of course they're not. But what you do have done is you've set them up in a way for success, because unlike their peers who weren't prepared for any form of test, by the time they get to the end of year 6 and they have to do their SATs, their SATs, they will breeze through it because they've been writing 11 plus tests, unlike their peers who were not prepared and are nervous, and some of them might be panicking about the whole process. That what ends up happening is your children, who you put through this, you know, this rigorous study program, at least they will still end up with very good SAT grades, right? Their SATs grades will be good, or at least, you know, they may not have gotten into that selected school, but they've been preparing for it. So by the time they do a normal state school exam, it's a breeze for them, right? So I'm talking to the parents who try, and, like, in some instances things do not pan out. What is happening here? Oh, things do not pan out the way you had hoped for or initially expected. All hope is not lost. Like, for another example is I had wanted all 3 of my children to play cello. Well, to be honest, I didn't know that I wanted it. I knew that I would have liked them to play an instrument. I just didn't know what. It just so happened that my world and the world of another person collided, and they suggested Suzuki, the whole Suzuki method, and I never heard of it. And then I found out that there was a Suzuki hub near me, and due to convenience, because Suzuki is it's quite pricey, but I don't even necessarily know if I'm paying for the teaching or more so the convenience, because it's just easy for my children to get to now. But yeah, so they had been going through that process for some time, learning how to play the cello. So even how we got to that, it was all coincidence. I wanted them to play an instrument, but I didn't know what, how, where, when. And then some conversations of whatever, then it just so happened. Then we went to watch some lessons, live lessons of other children learning, and I asked my boys, so what instrument would you like to choose? Because they had an option of violin, trumpet, cello, mostly stringed instruments, right? And just because the cello is big and it just looked cool to them, they chose the cello. So I was like, okay, calm, we're going to play the cello. And that is what we have been doing ever since they were in year, oh gosh, I want to say it was before lockdown anyway, so it's been a number of years that they've been playing. And then the intention was, okay, if they are good enough, by the grace of God, maybe they can get a scholarship or a bursary due to their musical talents, their musical gifts. Because all the parents, oh, if they're that good, they can da la 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 la. My dear, not that we have not tried, though. Do you know what I mean? So I'm saying all of this to anybody else, any other parents. Just if things don't pan out the way you expected, it's not the end of the world. That's just another string to their bow that they have, right? There's nothing. Police. So that's how you know I'm in London. Oh yeah, be going. That's just another string to their bow. Okay, they can play the cello. And then from really early long, even prior to playing the cello, my kids, my guy, what's going on here? Okay, but prior to playing the cello, when we were in the house, when they used to jumping off the sofa, doing acrobatics in my living room, wanting to tear my living room apart. I said, absolutely not. This energy, we need to channel this energy. Where's the nearest gymnastics? My children were they were having gymnastics classes for a number of years. They were taking part in competitions. They were winning. I think I've got a few medals from them having won at least second place and third place, right? No one got first, but it's okay, Sha. Right, so even with that was just because I wasn't saying, oh, I want them to. It was like, they've got too much energy. I don't want them to tear down my house. Let me channel that energy so that they could do something. And I had the time and the resources were accessible. Okay, start doing gymnastics. From there, we entered swimming. And the only reason I started doing swimming for them is because lockdown happened. Because one of my sons got into, like, I guess was it year 4, year 5, and they get to this year in primary school, whereby it's expected that every child will have a few swimming lessons. It's a life skill, right? At least everyone can do 10 meters. And I was a bit like, oh wait, hang on, because of lockdown that's not going to happen. Or was it because of lockdown? Hey God, I can't remember. So anyway, they started swimming lessons and they've been doing it ever since. My very good swimmers, they can swim better than me, I'll tell you that for free. Very, very, very good swimmers. And this was just because, anyway, all of this, again, exposure. The only one that I haven't, so because of the current summer holiday, I thought let's try our hand at kayaking, because again, it's right on our doorstep. It's right there. Why not? This is something that I would have never tried and haven't even heard of. I was like, look at the people swimming there. Look at the children on the canal in their little boats. Oh yeah, how much is it? Oh, okay, it's not too bad. Yeah, go and do kayaking. Again, provide an experience. The only one that I haven't gotten into yet is tennis, which we will maybe do a tennis club at some point. But my older kids are getting to a level whereby they are choosing what they like. So you expose them to enough things, but you'd be very surprised. Like, every young boy wants to be a footballer. And this is not a race thing. This is like internationally, around the world, footballers are considered superheroes. And it's like, it's just a thing. It's very natural. And the funny thing for me is, it was definitely an area that I wanted to stay clear from. I was like, no. But that's what my children have gravitated to. Who am I? Am I a good mother if I say, you're not doing, the boy likes the football, let him do the football. All of this to say, sometimes you have plans for your children, but guess what? They have their own plans too. Yes, they have their own plans too. And as long as their plans are not harming anybody else and not harmful to themselves, and it doesn't seem like a bad idea, why not help them? Why not help anchor them and nurture them in that direction? It wouldn't have been my choice for you, but guess what? You have your own. It seems like you have your own dreams for yourself. Me, I have my dreams for you, but you two, you have your own dreams for yourself. This is a lesson in parenting that sometimes before you're a parent, you think I'm gonna be this kind of mom, I'm gonna be this type of no, the child will dictate to you the kind of parent that you're going to be. If you are a listening and attentive parent, that child will tell you the kind of parent you're gonna be. So all of this, I'm gonna do, yeah, be doing this and be doing that. Oh, can I park here? I'm gonna stop here. Yeah. And guess what? Each child is different. The child will show you how to parent them, that this is what I need from you. If you're listening, if you're attentive, you'll get it, you'll pick it up. Well, this is what you can try. I'm not saying don't try, but and the funny thing is, it's great to have ambitions and dreams for your kids here, especially if they don't necessarily have dreams and ambitions for themselves. But if they have something for themselves that they like, that they're into, just help to nurture it. Like, help where and how you can. Every day is a learning day. Every day is a school day.